Now is the criterion of our discontent, made glorious autumn by this son of Jack, and all the films that lowered upon this house in the deep bosom of the ocean buried. That translated means, hello there, Nate Jackson, Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy here with number 213. 213. Laurence Olivier's adaptation of William Shakespeare's Richard III. They didn't make 2 and 1, just one. Well, Olivier being Olivier just jumped straight to 3. Just what about the first 2? Jeez. It's like every king deserves a chance. Gosh. Anyway, 1955, 158 minutes, English. Our first English movie? No. Wait, is this our... No, no, our first English movie is, that's, Indiscretion of American Life, Terminal Station. But, well, our first English director. Let's leave it at that. So, that's something. But anyway, it's Shakespeare. It's Olivier. And I think it's the third one. I think it's the last one we're going to do, from the last one we have. We already did Henry V. We already did Hamlet, and so yeah. So all that's left is Richard III, and I think he didn't do any more. He did Othello. I just found out he did Othello, and he played Othello, which I'm like, I'm sorry, but you know who Othello has to be. You can't be, don't be so egotistical in doing Othello that you gotta go up in blackface, dude. But anyway, Richard III. So, I mean, I'm not gonna try and summarize the entire plot because it's Shakespeare and I didn't even get it. You know, Shakespeare deserves like multiple reviews. So Edward IV, you get the son, his brother Richard. And Edward, and so he frames his brother. He frames brother George as Duke Clarence, and he goes and he gets him killed, and he kills all these people. He even sets out to get the little sons, little baby kids, the little babies getting killed, and it's real sad, But eventually they say, no, we ain't having this, and they ain't helping you out. And so his confidants turn against him. And on the battles of whatever it is, Lancaster or whatever it is, and they battle each other, and yeah, and he's haunted by the ghost. He tries to have sex with Anne, but she almost tries to kill him. And and the doctor's in it. The doctor plays Tyrell, Patrick Troughton. That was like the high point of the film, is seeing Patrick Troughton. It was this 65, over 10 years before he played the doctor. So I think he started playing the doctor when he was like 40. He must have been like in his early mid 30s when he played Tyrell in this movie. And it makes up for not finding him in Hamlet. I looked everywhere in Hamlet, and I see him. He's like one of the jesters, I think he was, or one of the knights, but you barely see him. He has like 1 or 2 lines, and like the camera isn't really focused on him. But this, you get a shot. So I'm like, the Whovian in me says, well, right on. And so that's about it. And yeah, and they go off to battle, and Richard dies, and he yells, "A horse, my kingdom for a horse." That's the last lines of the film, even though those aren't the last lines of the play. But we'll get to that in a second. He gets killed, and then somebody else is king. Henry's king. And yeah, so this one I wasn't gonna try and summarize the plot. It's usually what my reviews are, and I know that that's not a proper review, is just to summarize the plot. But with Shakespeare, it's like we all kind of, well, I guess I didn't know the plot because I'd never seen Richard III. I've never partaken in any of the adaptations, so this is all new to me. But you guys know. I'm sure all y'all are learned. So anyway, so this is our third Olivier film, and I just wanted to like touch on a couple of things that I've noticed in his films. There are, I think, at least yeah, one or two things that I've noticed in his films that are always going to happen. They're always going to happen in Shakespeare. They're always going to happen in Shakespeare adaptations from Olivier. At least, well, there's three things. One, the movies are going to be fucking long, and that's to be expected because the plays are long. But at the same token, number two, scenes are going to be cut. There's a whole character. One of the queens is totally cut from this. I got the book, the play, because I like to read along. But not only are scenes going to be cut, scenes are going to be moved around. It's like the movie does not start with Olivier doing the "Now's the Winter of Our Discontent" speech. It starts off with King Edward IV, on the crown and all that, and it's about 5 minutes into the movie, 4 or 5 minutes in the movie, when we finally see Olivier as Richard, and he does his monologue to the audience. And even then, he starts to go off into other dialogue that's in the play. And apparently, I looked it up, and apparently some of it's from Henry VI. But even then, a lot of the dialogue doesn't sound like Shakespeare. It sounds like somebody trying to be Shakespeare, but failing miserably because no one can be Shakespeare. A lot of the dialogue is very poetic. Just poetic, not Shakespearean. Shakespeare definitely had a language of his own. We've all accepted that. And so, yeah, that's basically so that, and then finally, the third thing you can expect from a Laurence Olivier movie, a Laurence Olivier Shakespeare adaptation, is Laurence Olivier is going to play the star. Heaven forbid he should let some other great actor play the lead part and him just take a full back seat, just sit behind the camera. Because it's bad, he's already producing it and directing it. But he has to also star in it, of course, because he is an actor / director / writer / producer. It's kind of ridiculous. He elitistical, That's just, but y'all didn't hear that from me. So anyway, that's the three things that I wanted to touch on. That's the three things that I've noticed about Olivier's directing, his films at least the Shakespeare ones. I've seen him in a couple others, but I think we've actually seen him in a couple others. I think he was in, I forget which film he may have been in, but I think we've seen him in another one. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So that's all I gotta say about Richard III. Is it a great adaptation? Well, I don't know. I mean, I personally was put off by the fact that he added all these lines that weren't in the play, that it didn't stick to the play. I mean, I can forgive the beginning because it is awkward to just start off with, the play, start off with the monologue for this one, because that's the first thing you see is Richard doing the "Now's the Winter of Our Discontent" thing. So to show the king, the then king, and accepting the crown and all that, everybody doing the hymns and all that, that's kind of a good build up, a good introduction, if you will. But at the same time, after that, there are certain things that you could have kept going, So certain things that I guess some of it is hard to display or to showcase in the film format versus the play format. Plays, are one stage. We don't get these elaborate stages as we do with films. We're able to build sets that that leave nothing to the imagination, But with the play, we have to set up a lot more, and that's where Shakespeare's dialogue and writing comes into play. Introducing characters and setting up plots and all that. But with a film, we could just show what's going on. we don't need all this dialogue. And so Olivier, I guess, he felt like he, or at least felt like he had the right to change it up and make it more adaptable for the film, for the screen. At the same time, you know, when you do that, you lose some of the charm of these plays. You lose the dramatics, and you start to, I feel like you really start to add your own yourself into the play. And you know, I think you can do that as an actor, but as a writer director, when you have these plays that have been around for so long, it doesn't work very well. You know, it really doesn't work too well. And with this particular one, I think Hamlet probably worked the best. You know, I think of the three plays we've seen, Hamlet just made perfect sense. This one I feel like was a little too free. And yeah, that's really my thing. It just didn't put me on, you know, that much. At the same time, it wasn't bad. It was not bad. Olivier does his thing, as he does all the time, and so, you know, I'm not going to give it a bad rating. At the same time, I didn't think it was that spectacular, apart from seeing the Doctor, you know. So, what do we rate this? We'll give it. See, I'll give it a B. We'll give it a B. A B because it's not a perfect movie, but at the same time, it tells the story. It tells it very well. And there are certain scenes where Olivier does showcase some damn good chops, some good acting chops. The "What's a Clock" scene, for one, that's one scene that comes to mind. That, you know, when he explodes on that scene, it's really effective. I think it's just the longer monologues that throw me off a little. The fourth wall breaking, you know. I mean, obviously you have to do it for it makes sense in the plays, but movies, I don't know. We sometimes interpret them as gimmicks. At least I interpret them as gimmicks. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's it. That's all we'll say about Richard III. Yeah. B. Not bad, but not the greatest. I still say Hamlet's the best Olivier adaptation. All right, so that's it for Disc 1. Disc 2 has a 47-minute interview, TV show called Great Acting. It was a BBC show interviewing Laurence Olivier, and he just talks about his films and his background and all that. This is kind of neat. It feels really scripted, but then again, I guess that's how Olivier talks. You know? And then there's a 12-minute pre-trailer that was shown on TV, which showcased like some behind-the-scenes footage and excerpts from the film and all that. It's like a little short feature to try and get you to see the film. And of course, the trailer, and there's a gallery of production stills, behind the scenes, posters, you know, the usual Criterion ephemera, if I'm saying that right, ephemera, blah blah. So that's all we'll say about this. Richard III, B for. All right. So anyway, that's it for today. Tomorrow we got another movie. We got number 214, Devil and Daniel Webster, aka All That Money Can Buy, by William Duterte. And let's see. And then Saturday we got, which one's Saturday? The Rules of the Game. I think that's no. Knife in the Water's on Saturday. Yeah, Knife in the Water's on Saturday. I'm missing my order. Yeah, number 215, Knife in the Water. And then next week we got The Rules of the Game. We got Tokyo Story. And then Le Cercle Rouge, La Strada. A week after that, of course, Naked Lunch. And I just found Ikiru. It's got Ikiru or Kurosawa. I ain't even seen it. I just want to look at it because I know it's Kurosawa. I know it's going to be a slam banger. And yeah. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't kill kids for the throne. Don't kill. If you're in love with the king, don't fall. If you have to fall in love with a prince or a duke, Don't fall in love with one who's killed your family. That's a great one. And yeah, that's all I'll say about it. And don't fuck with Shakespeare, you know. So a brother like me can follow along with the book, you know, and understand what the hell half those terms mean. So yeah, so that's it. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on Saturday. No, we'll see you tomorrow for Devil and Daniel Webster. And until then, fare thee well.